Do our senses provide us an experience of the real world? Because naive realism says that the world is real, the senses are taking in information, somehow converting it into sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. Of course, this is called the hard problem of consciousness, for which there is no explanation. And I think that can be solved if you revise your basic assumption that there is an objective material world. I say this for the following reason. Our perceptions are entangled with our mental processes. Our senses do not just take in information from the world around us, but our brains also do not simply record information. Instead, they actively interpret it. And of course, the brain is the neural correlate of the mind. So we interpret information which is actually fundamentally radically ambiguous. What we call the real world is a radically ambiguous and ceaselessly flowing quantum soup. So our senses, somehow, subtle senses, interpret whatever that radically ambiguous and ceaseless flowing soup is, quantum soup, but then do it based on our past experiences, our expectations, and our current emotional state. This means that our perceptions are not accurate representations of reality. They can be influenced by our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. For example, if you're afraid of spiders, you may be more likely to perceive a harmless spider as a threat. Or if you are in a bad mood, you may be more likely to interpret natural events as negative. The entanglement of perception and mental processes is also evident in some what people call mental disorders, like schizophrenia. Many people with schizophrenia often have what the normal person, or so-called normal person, would not would consider distorted, such as seeing or hearing things that are not true. But we are already seeing and hearing things that are not true. We just agree on what is true. So these distortions are thought to be caused by problems with the brain's ability to interpret sensory information. Overall, our perceptions are not simply a matter of passively recording information. They actively construct our reality. Here are some specific examples of how our mental processes can influence our perceptions. Expectations. If we expect to see something, we are more likely to see it. For example, if you're walking down the street and you expect to see a dog, you're more likely to notice a dog that is actually there, right there. Otherwise, you didn't notice it. Attention. What we pay attention to that's number two, can affect our perception. For example, if you're looking for a specific color, you're more likely to notice objects of that color. Experience. Our past experience can also influence our perception. 3. For example, if you have a bad experience with a spider, as I said, more likely to be afraid of spiders. Emotions. Our emotions can also affect our perceptions. So, for example, if you're feeling happy, you're more likely to perceive the world in a positive light. So, bottom line, mind and perception are entangled in giving us an experience of what we call the physical world, and that includes our body. So I think the more we think about it, naive realism seems to be a false assumption of reality. Let me know your thoughts.